Hi, Jackie. I hear that the OCM have got a diversity, equality and inclusion month coming up. And I'm keen to talk about that with you and our work together and our interests. What do you think we've got that we can share with their audience?
Yeah, great question, Jonny. As you were saying that, and I was thinking, wow, what a great opportunity for us, because the work we do automatically includes all neurodiversity or all neurodivergent thinking, because we invite autistic people to our dialogues. We along with them invite those people that are part of their lives, whether that be parents or carers or teachers or commissioners or anybody who has an active interest in. So we automatically create in those group dialogue spaces that sense of belonging and that sense of equality.
Yeah, that's what interested me the most right at the beginning is like creating a micro community. So that's why it's easy to get another group of autistic people together and work on empowerment that way. But for me, it was really important to have all those people, all those stakeholders in the room to kind of replicate what's happening outside in society. And the other thing is that autistic people really benefit from my research at uni. Autistic people benefit from structured conversation and routine. So that's why the contracting and the safe environment, the clarity of the parameters, boundaries, timekeeping, etc. So as soon as you've got that safe environment and you've got the potential for different neurotypes to be communicating across into the middle and across and creating this sense of equity and familiarity for autistic people particularly, but like a more of a community cohesion overall.
Yeah, that sense of being heard. What you made me think of there though, Jonny, is also the fact that as the coach facilitators coming into that, as the dialogic coach facilitators, we have to leave our ego and our power behind, because we have to enter as equally. So the skill for us, that sort of elevated skill for us as coaches, is how to facilitate holding that space with everybody else, but without bringing our ego or our power of the facilitation role or the coach role in.
And I think also what's really important is that you and I had a relationship in the first place, which was I as a diagnosed Asperger's person and you as apparently a neurotypical person. We were kind of, modeling that cross neurotype interaction for the room. And I think that was another important dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. So why do you think it's important now? We get a lot of interest. A lot of people, once they've attended the dialogues, want to continue, want to stay involved in what we do. Yeah. What do you think is the zeitgeist, as it were, as to why that's so relevant now?
So that's a really good word to use. Neurodiversity is a subset of biodiversity. Basically, it means everybody's included. Neurodiversity is just a term for the whole of every single neurotype on the planet Earth, over which every single human being has got a different neurology. That said, we do have, although there's no biomarkers for autism and a range of other neurodivergencies, it's really important to recognize the collective identity of autistic people and other neurodivergent subsets. So the idea that we can have a safe framework to be able to talk across neurotypes it's something I think is important for the whole planet. Everybody's invested in it because we are all humanity. It's not us and them. It's certainly not a deficit model. It's certainly not less than. And that's where we start. We're just talking about equality in the first place, you know, and then once we do that, then we can invite the richness and all the differences into the room. We're all in this together.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but you made me light up and smile when you said that it's not a deficit model. It just brought back lots of times in the dialogues when we've been coaching people where they light up when they suddenly realise that they're not seen as having a deficit and they're seen as, you know, an equal. And the amount of times that people have said, you know, this is the first time in a group environment or even in a one-on-one environment where I've felt able to, you know, drop my mask, to speak as me, not to try and fit in or not to try and to try and be. But equally on the other side, you know, we've had times where we've had people who have been equally surprised by actually hearing, you know, autistic voices and the richness and the quality. I remember one particular instance where somebody said, you know, this is the first time in hearing adult autistic voices that I've really understood my son and where he's coming from and what I can take back to him.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, and a family is a system, right? And we're all part of different systems and organizations, but down to the heart of the matter is that organizations are made up of people, individuals, and with values, and so that's so important to have that like sense of safety, sensitivity, individuality, but belong, and as a coach to be able to see the system, not to leave it behind, but not have it dominating at the same time, and to be able to work with all these different processes and changing dynamics in the room is a really exciting space to be in, but crucially important for today.
Absolutely. So I think what's the one thing we'd want to leave people with, or people thinking about, in terms of if you're a coach? I think it's really is how to make sure you are bringing yourself as a peer, equal, and meeting others as such. And organisationally, really creating the spaces, using coaching and dialogue to create the spaces where people can meet each other as equals and be accepted. That would be my message. What about yours?
I think there's something about ontological group coaching. So that's being able to be in touch with yourself. Is that work never stops. The inner work never stops. And as you say, being able to create that space means moving out of the way, but also being able to see the world from other people's perspectives, no matter how different that is to yours.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I think it's a perfect stop. Thank you, Jonny.
You're welcome. Thank you for the conversation.